What's up, everybody? How are you? Welcome into, a pregame show. We haven't done this before. Normally, we're on a couple of hours before the game. Now we're actually on the game right before the game. It is our Betting Pros NBA live stream. Terrell, Furman, Matt Perrault. We are here with you guys, taking you to the top of the hour before Game 4 between the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. We'll get to that game, and we will also get to the Western Conference, which will happen tomorrow, as we could have a team in there as OKC trying to close out the Timberwolves. But Terrell, how are you? I appreciate you coming on a little bit later. If you guys are curious, it was my fault. We had to push this back a couple of hours. How are you here on a, Tuesday night?
Anxious. I am very, very anxious. I would like to fast forward to the end of the game just to see what the result is. Then I can go back and watch the game and get through the feels. But I would just love to know what the end result here is, because honestly, either way the game goes, I still am extremely pessimistic about the series, but I'm always pessimistic about the Knicks. But like, one of those puts me into deep internal despair, and the other is like, oh, okay, well, they just delay the inevitable of me being hurt.
It feels like a Game 7 tonight, and I know it's not. But I think if you're approaching this game from an Indiana Pacers perspective, if you can go up 3-1, knowing you just need one win in the next 3, that is a dream scenario, knowing that you can go to New York in Game 5, lose that game, and come back in Game 6. And obviously, you don't want a Game 7 situation, but you have 2 shots or 3 shots at the apple to get to the NBA Finals. If you lose this game, Terrell, and you're playing, tonight is a guarantee for New York. If they win tonight, we have a Game 7. And that Game 7, in my mind, you'll have a Game 7. You have 3 games to win 2, essentially. Indiana can win both games, Game 5 and Game 6, and wrap it up. Fine, that can happen. But most likely we're going to a Game 7 type situation. If the Knicks win this game today, do they win the series?
I have no thoughts on the Knicks. I think that it's a possibility. You sit there, you have a best of 3 at home. I think that both of the two teams, I've been anti Game 7 in this series. I just think both of these two teams are flawed enough where they're not going to be able to hold up in an elimination game situation. And so I think that here in a Game 6 is where I've always said that I felt like this goes. And like, this going 3-1 would play more into my Game 6 angle of, 3-1, they win in New York, and then it goes back there. I feel a little bit less confident about the Game 6, but I think that when they get to Indiana in Game 6, whoever is up 3 games, they're going to feel it. Whether it's the Knicks on the road and they say, no, we don't even want to take this back home. We want to end this on your court like you did it with us last year. Or you got the Pacers who are up 3 games in Indiana, and they're like, oh, yeah, we're not going to New York. We're getting this done. So, like, I still feel really, really confident about, even if the Knicks get this win tonight and it's 2-2, whoever wins Game 5 is going to immediately feel that, yep, let's go ahead and get this done in Game 6. So I still feel really good about Game 6 bet, honestly.
Before we get to the plays and the picks and the breakdown of the game from a line perspective, let me remind you guys of what's going on right now during the NBA playoffs. It is our NBA playoff prop contest. Now, this is going in this round and the next round. This round, we are competing for a signed Stephon Marbury basketball, a little Starbury action for you. In the next round, it is a grand prize win for a signed Allen Iverson jersey. Prizes awarded after each and every round. You can play for free at bettingpros.com/playoffs. That's bettingpros.com/playoffs. If you guys are watching baseball and if you're watching basketball, you're probably a Met fan, or at least watching some baseball. The Mets went down 2-0 to the White Sox, and they've scored 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning. So
they did?
It's 4-2 Mets. So if you had
really?
some crazy thought that the White Sox might actually win a game on the road, yeah, the Mets just scored 4 runs, and now it's minus 950 in case you're curious on the money line for the Mets here tonight. So, and it's the first inning. So, yeah, the White Sox are still the White Sox. In case we're curious, White Sox are still the White Sox. Queen Muff, no hockey plays on this stream. Sorry, I just kind of throw in baseball there for a second, but we're not breaking down hockey here. We're breaking down basketball. Late move. The late move in this game is on Indiana. Number went down to 2 and has been bet to 3 on the news that Neesmith is going to play in this game by the Indiana Pacers or for the Indiana Pacers. They are minus 150 on the money line, 219.5 from a total perspective here. I know you're not looking to play this, but if you were going to play this, Terrell, where would you do? What side would you be on? +3? Or are you laying the 3?
I'd be on Indiana. I would. I think that the reason that the Knicks won the game was because Tibbs' hand was forced and not because he wanted to make the smart coaching decision. And ultimately, that's where I think that the Knicks are doomed in this series. Tibbs only staggered those minutes with Brunson and sat Brunson and staggered Cat because of the foul trouble that they both were in. He didn't do it because he wanted to. That wasn't a plan of his. He ultimately, what he did in that game and somehow got away with it is speed rushing through about 5, 6, 7 different lineups throughout the game, figuring out one that worked, and then just go ahead and riding it until the end of the game. Oh man, I mean, anybody else doesn't get away with that. And for you to get away with that twice, I don't know, man. Like, I really do like this Knicks teams. I think this team actually could compete with the Pacers, but I think Tibbs is an idiot, and I've kind of settled on that. And so, yeah, I would be on the Pacers.
I am on the Pacers laying 2.5. It's now 3. I don't hate laying the 3. I would prefer it to be under. I think you might wind up pushing with 3. What I think is wild about this game is that both these teams are so good in the clutch, in the crunch time. Indiana lost their first game of the playoffs. They're now 7-1 in games in which it's a 5-point lead or less on either side in the final 5 minutes. But we know what the Knicks do. The Knicks come back from these gigantic deficits when they're down by 20. They're almost, that's when they're
go ahead and hit that auto bet.
Right?
Hey, go ahead. What is this? Some place allows you to be able to set like when it gets to this price, go ahead and bet for me. Like, yeah, go ahead and set that auto bet in for the Knicks.
You have that has been I have advocated for that. So betting bots do this all the time. That's a betting bot thing so the bookmakers don't really like that. But I think you should be able to do that on everyone's app. Like, I think DraftKings should set it up. And the reason why I've been told by a
trademarking this, we're trademarking this just so everybody knows.
It's not even trademarking. I've been told by somebody on a gaming control board that will never be allowed because you would have to go through so much paperwork and red tape to justify that, because somebody could say, well, I didn't set that. Somebody did that for me, and they're trying to get out of the bet if the bet didn't cash. So it would be a very difficult thing. But I think you should be able to do that where if the line goes to -20, I'm betting $200 on that, whatever number, whatever denomination you want to put down on that you get to bet that if that number gets to that point and it auto fires for you. Cause I think it should be that way. Cause it would be that would be such a great way of automating the way you play. Cause like hypothetically, if the Knicks go down 20, well, they went down 20 3 times in the playoffs and they've won those games. So take the money line price, whatever it might actually be. So I think it would be awesome if it happened. Someone once told me that there was an offshore that once offered that, but in the legal market, I don't believe you can have there's nobody setting apps unless it's a bot. Bots can do it all the time. That's how the pros do it. They get down with automatic firing on numbers. But if the Knicks go down by 20 tonight, do they win?
I think it's a good question. No, I think it's a good question because Indiana, what I don't like about Indiana, and the reason Indiana really lost that game outside of everything the rest were trying to do to make sure that the Knicks didn't win, was the fact of when they got up, they got so conservative. They slowed the pace down. They were playing out of the half court. Why are you doing that? You were going up tempo and you went up 20. Why stop? I never understood why you stopped what's working. And so they stopped what was working. And so they're going to continue to do that because this Indiana team really, like, when you think about it, doesn't have the experience of, hey, we're getting teams out of here each and every single night. Like, so they get a little bit comfortable. So yeah, if the Knicks go down 20, I do like the chance for the Knicks to be able to make some adjustments there and get themselves back in the game.
What's wild about the prop bet cheat sheet right now is that if you look at what the prop bet cheat sheet that you guys can get on BettingPros Premium, they love both OG and Cat props over everything. Over points, rebounds, and assists is the number one option right now. Karl-Anthony Towns over 32.5 points in rebounds is number 2. OG over 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. That's number 3. Number 4 is just points for OG. Number 5 is points in rebounds for OG. And number 6 is Karl-Anthony Towns, points and assists. Like those two players, if they go off tonight, Terrell, how do the Knicks lose? Like those are the two guys that if they go off, the Knicks are winning, are they not?
As long as the Knicks can get a stop. I mean, I just don't trust them if this becomes that fast-paced game that they're going to be able to get stops. If they're able to play slow and play out of the half court, then yeah, the Knicks will get stops and they'll be able to score because Cat can get whatever shot he wants. Cat and Brunson are the two guys in this series that I have no problem with whenever they have the ball in their hands. They can get whatever they want on this team. The issue for those two guys are also they don't play defense and they foul a lot. And so Cat even worse. And so if you tell me that Karl-Anthony Towns is not in foul trouble, he's not horrible defensively in this game, Cat is liable to put up 30 plus on this team, like rather easily. And that's just the matchup. Like he's just that good and he's able to abuse that matchup. But like Cat and Brunson, two players I'm never worried about. OG, I could see a little flyer on OG. If OG is that third scoring option, like as much as they say it is, then yeah, the Knicks feel pretty good about this. But they got to get stops. Like scoring, good, fine, good, not worried. Get stops.
So Aaron Nesmith playing in this game has altered some of the props in the prop bet cheat sheets. Look at the Pacers. And so last night, the prop bet cheat sheet liked Tyrese Halliburton under 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists more than it does now. It still likes it. It doesn't love it as much as it did last night, where it was pretty much a 5 or a 4.5 point differential between 35.5. Now it's projecting 33.1. So it's there for that. But how much do you think Nesmith playing in this game factors into Indiana? Because he's obviously a guy in that epic comeback in the choke job in game 2. It was all him in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's actually the most important player on Indiana, and that's why it was so interesting to me to see him on the injury report and if he played or not, because you have to throw as many bodies as you can at Brunson, and Nesmith is one of the better defenders, and it's just the fact of he gives him something out of the ordinary for Brunson, a big, longer defender that can keep up with him. And it just makes him work a little bit more. Even if he makes the shot, the fact that he's dribbling out 17 seconds on the clock because Nesmith is on him, you're okay with that, because if he misses, you're like, whoo, look at that. Grab the rebound. We got out of him possession. So I think Nesmith is really, really important. And then, of course, the 5 threes that and felt like 60 seconds was absurd. And the fact that he always has that in his arsenal at any given time is honestly terrifying as a Knicks fan.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how this game starts and just how hurt was Nesmith. Like, what is the ankles situation? Yep. Because I think you're absolutely right. I mean, he changes the whole rotation defensively for New York if he's on the court or not on the court. They can focus on Halliburton a lot more. And excuse me, I think it's why the prop bet cheat sheet liked the under so much on Halliburton, was because they can focus just on getting the ball out of his hands, where if they have to worry about Nesmith coming off high pick and rolls and getting free from behind the arc, well, we've seen what he can do if you don't guard him and you don't get him going. I mean, it's funny too, because when Boston traded him away, there was the thought that he couldn't hit outside jump shots, and credit to him for taking the time to invest in himself and make himself into a deadly knockdown shooter. Because yes, Halliburton's a guy when it's crunch time, give him the basketball and get the hell out of the way. But if I need a 3 to win a game or send it to overtime, I'm okay with Nesmith taking that shot. I mean, he has shown that he is willing to put the team on his back and take big shots in this series. So huge to see what he looks like early in this game and how healthy is the ankle. And if I'm the Knicks, I am 100% testing him, and I'm going to try to put him in as many pick and rolls as I can to see what exactly that ankle looks like defensively or just laterally. How healthy is the ankle for Aaron Nesmith? So watch that coming up early. How do you feel about the pace of this game? Because it's wild. It feels like Knicks and under or Pacers and over. But what do you feel about the total?
That's how I would bet it. If you're betting, that's how I would bet it. That's how these teams win the game. If the Pacers play a slow-paced game, I don't think they're going to win. Like, I really, really don't.
Charles Barkley said it at halftime of the last game. Is like, the Pacers can't, the Knicks can't run with them, and right now they can't stop them. So this game's over. And then what happened? 13-point lead was gone in 2 seconds because of the defense for the Knicks.
Yeah, like the Knicks have to find a way to be able to keep this game slow and force them to play out of the half court. And that's also one, taking care of the basketball, not letting them get turnovers and get in transition. You got to make your actual shots and make them take it out of the net instead of letting them get the rebound and push the pace there. Like you have to be very, very efficient and then take care of yourself defensively and force this into a slow game and something they don't want it to be in. If it's like that for the over the course of the 4 quarters, it could get really ugly for Indiana. But Indiana hasn't shown me enough that says, hey, they're just going to fall into this slow paced game.
I also want to see in crunch time, the Knicks they believe in themselves. The Pacers have been very good in the postseason. Like I mentioned, 7-1 in these end of game crunch time situations, but the Knicks are 6-1. So both these teams have been, I trust the Knicks in crunch time more than I trust the Pacers, but they're at home. So how does that factor in? Because we saw foul trouble and it didn't really matter. I mean, we've seen the Knicks overcome foul trouble. We've seen them be able to have Brunson in foul trouble. They lost game 2, but they've seen them been able to deal with and have been dealt hands when it comes to foul trouble. How do you think this game gets called tonight? Because if the Knicks are allowed to put the Pacers in a straitjacket like what happened in the second half of game 3, I don't know if Indiana can win a game like that.
I think it's a little bit of an overcorrection and not trying to miss calls. And New York is a very, very large market that was very, very vocal about the refs after that last game. In a win, by the way, in a win, very, very vocal about the refs. And so I think that, it's human. Like they're still humans. I think, and they read, they listen to all that stuff. I think that the committees that they all have hear all that stuff. Hey, let's make sure we call it clean tonight. Like let's not give them more ammo here. Like so, I think all of that plays a part into it. So I think it's a little bit of a cleaner game, especially on the Knicks side of the ball, and I think they're going to need it, especially being on the road. But I'm not concerned about the Knicks on the road. Like I understand the Pistons are a lesser team, but Brunson went on the road, had big shot against the Pistons and get them out of there. They went on the road in Boston and played Boston really well. Like this Knicks team feels good on the road. Like they play better on the road. And so I don't have an issue of the road aspect. I think this entire team is like, hey, we would love to actually give Indiana another loss on their home court. Like this is how deep that rivalry is, that yes, we almost want to win more on the road. And I think it's the same thing for Indiana. They almost want to win more in Madison Square Garden than they do at home because they want to have that villain moment.
Yeah, and the Knicks don't play as well at home as they do on the road. So Indiana winning tonight to go up 3-1 could be huge. Ish the Fish 157 wants our thoughts on first half team totals for both teams, just to give you guys an update as to what we're looking at from a number perspective. Knicks first half team total is 55.5. Pacers first half team total is 57.5. Again, it comes down to pace of play and whether
that that's what happens when Matt goes off. No, I think his pace of play also goes into it. And so like maybe it's something more better that you live bet and just kind of see how the game is going early. Do the Knicks control the pace early or do the Pacers control the pace early? And maybe that's a better thing for you. But if you want to just go ahead and take your stab in the dark pregame, then I think that you roll with the Pacers and say the Pacers control the pace early on in the game. And it's a faster paced game. And then the Knicks then adjust to that, find a way to slow the game down in the second half. But I would, if you want a pregame dart throw, I would say over.
Yeah, I would agree. Pacers over 57.5. Not a horrible play. I like the Pacers in the first quarter. If you're talking about what I mean, I know this is sort of a gut feel, and it's not. I mean, I'm not going to pull stats out, and it's more. I think the Pacers are pretty angry about what happened in Game 3 at home because I think they got caught scoreboard watching. I think they got caught thinking like Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley said the game was over at halftime, and it was not. I think they thought the game was over. And I think they thought, well, we're not Boston. Like, we don't blow big leads. And, we're not going to, they can't do that to us. And then it happened to them. And it happened at home to them. So I think even more than a first half team total, I think first quarter Pacers, which is only about a half a point, depending on what book you're looking at, I think first quarter Indiana money line or first quarter Indiana laying a half a point isn't a bad look either, just because I do think that building is going to be really hyped for this game here for game 4. I mean, the Pat McAfee show was out front today. I mean, Indiana fans have been talking all day about this, counting down to tip off. So I expect a pretty electric atmosphere here early. And I think the Knicks are going to have to weather a storm in the first couple of minutes and to keep this game relatively close. Don't allow, don't lose it in the first half. Although it looked like they lost it in the first half of game 3. And it turned out that was just exactly where they wanted them to be.
I
I
would
know
be
you
nervous about a Brunson massive explosion in the first quarter off of the frustrations of everything in game 3. I would
fair.
if Brunson had double digits easy in the first quarter, I
Yep.
would be that's the thing that would make me, oh, okay. Brunson, it was a big Brunson quarter, and that's how we lost that.
Fair. I think that's possible. Yeah, I could absolutely see him having a big first quarter to start the game. I know there's a couple of WNBA plays you like. Are those games tonight,
Yes,
Terrell,
they
or then
are.
tomorrow?
We have
Go
5
ahead.
games on the slate tonight.
Go ahead and give those out that you like tonight.
Yeah, no. So we've got the Los Angeles Sparks going up against the Atlanta Dream, and the Dream are on the road here in Los Angeles, and not in uncharted territory for a lot of teams because it's not very often, but they're coming off of a back-to-back. So this is the third game in 4 nights for them, and just a really bad spot traveling after playing a back-to-back at home all the way across coast. I think it's a good spot for the Los Angeles Sparks to build some momentum in their team. I think they have the offense that can combat with the Dream. And I think the Dream be on a little bit of dead legs. Again, third game in 4 nights, which is not the typical for a WNBA team. So I like the Sparks here to get this done. I laid the 2 with them. And then we have the Seattle Storm and the Minnesota Lynx, who are 2 of the, I would say, top 5 defensive teams in this game, in this league. And so I like the under 156.5 here. I think this is a slower paced game. These games typically go under when these 2 match up. And I think that we're going to see something more similar to a playoff game, as this is really the hardest test that either one of these 2 teams have faced this season. So I took the under in that one as well.
Very cool. Very cool. How big of an impact from a handle perspective is the Caitlin Clark injury? Because ticket prices are literally been cut by 4 to 5 times for the teams that were expecting Caitlin Clark to play at their building on the road with the Fever. How much does that, in your mind, affect the betting handle?
I think that I think the books are probably going to be a lot really down on the Fever. Not down on them where they're going to be dogs, but I think that, of course, the line, we saw them 10 points against the Atlanta Dream at home with Caitlin Clark in the lineup in a game they lost. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they still give the Fever some credit. Like, they still have Stephanie White, who is a really, really good head coach, championship head coach. And so I think they'll be fine. They'll be okay. I think when they get to the better teams of the league, you'll see that, they're probably not giving them enough credit, and they may be large dogs that they can kind of fight themselves in the game with the Leah Boston. But I think the books, because the books are so heavy on Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark was a minus favorite for MVP prior to her being injured, and she wasn't playing good at all. She had 2 straight games where she didn't even hit a 3, and that's one of her money makers. So the books really, really love her. So I think that, I haven't seen the lines yet, but when they come out, it's going to look like, oh, they're really down on the Fever because she's not playing, because they love her so much.
So tomorrow night, the OKC Thunder will try to punch their ticket to the NBA Finals. The T-Wolves looked lackluster last night. Anthony Edwards looked disinterested. He said he didn't play poorly. I don't know what game he thought he was playing, but he did not play well. He couldn't find shots. When he had open shots, he couldn't hit the open shots. And the team it was a game. It was tight, but ultimately OKC kind of flexed their muscles in the fourth quarter and took it. And now they go home with a chance to end this series. The line is 8.5. Does it end tomorrow night, or the Thunder go into the finals tomorrow night?
I hate to count the boys in Minnesota out, but I don't. It's really, really tough in OKC right now, and I think they smell it, and they're like, "Look, let's go ahead and handle business," and they can. And I think that it's gonna be on the defense. Like, they're gonna have to be able to find shots on the road, and I don't know if I can 100% guarantee that they're going to be able to do that, because OKC's defense is so well. Like, that makes a home court environment when you have a really, really good defense, because now teams are like, we walk in here, we can't even find the ball in the basket. And so I think that's going to be the reason why it's over tomorrow. It's because of OKC's defense. They're going to smother and make it really, really tough. And that's what they did in game 4. They said, hey, it's not going to be Julius Randle and it's not going to be Anthony Edwards. Everybody else, have your day. If you go off, you go off. That's what happens. If he dies, he dies. Like if you go off, you go off. That's what happens. And so if they can't find a way and Chris Finch can outcoach that and get them guys more shots because they can't have a combined 8 shots at the half again, ever, then yeah, it's over. I think it's over.
Cut it. This is over. This is Vince Carter over. See ya. Lay it. 8.5. This is over. This is a rout. This is another double-digit win for the Thunder team. Minnesota had a shot, and they had to win last night. I mean, they had to have that game. And even with Anthony Edwards playing poorly, they did still have a shot late. He couldn't do anything. I can't see. I think this is just an absolute ass kicking tomorrow night. I think this is a coronation. I don't think that this T-Wolves team, I don't think has enough heart to go in there and prolong the inevitable. They know they're not winning 3 games in a row against this team. Like they're not beating the Thunder 3 straight games, and they know it. And I think you're right. I think defensively, I don't mind a team total under bet on the T-Wolves.
That's what I was thinking about. I haven't gotten there yet. I was that's in consideration for fast break bets tonight. Like I really think under on the Timberwolves team total.
Yep. I think it's that current number is 106.5 for the Timberwolves. So I absolutely think they may not score 100 in game 5. That could be another 88-point performance out of Minnesota. And we've seen them be that poor offensively in the playoffs. So I don't have a lot of trust in them. I don't have a lot of hope for them that they're just going to walk in and be like, okay, let's fight and let's go and send this thing back to Minnesota for a game 6. I just don't see it. I think this is going to be 10 to 12 to 15 point win here. Lay the 8.5 points with OKC to wrap it up coming up tomorrow night. Before we do the picks and recap our plays, Terrell, fast break bets. You mentioned it. If people are going to watch it, when and what are they going to see?
Oh, well, you're going to see WNBA. We're getting into the summer months, Matt, and this is where I start to get a little extra. Big 3, a couple of big 3 bets around, maybe hanging around there. It's fun. Like, it's fun basketball. I might as well. And when I'm watching it, it's so hard to watch it and not put a bet down. So, yeah, just a little fun over there. Might be some fun in the summer league as well. Have some fun in there. TBT basketball is one of my favorites, though. I do really, really like watching the TBT tournament. I do. It's so nostalgic when you see some of the old college players that you love going out there and hooping again, man. So yeah, that we're having a good time over there every single weekday. Fast break bets, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts.
If you guys want other things besides basketball, obviously Terrell's got you for the hoops. I got you with the Daily Juice. That's kind of your end all in one encompassing. We do bet basketball, obviously, but baseball is here. Golf is here. NASCAR is here. Hockey, the Stanley Cup playoffs. I didn't bet hockey tonight because I got to watch this game tonight between Dallas and Edmonton. I want to watch that a little bit. If I had to bet it, I would take Dallas to win, but I took Dallas in the last game and they got smoked. So right now, Stuart Skinner's on a different planet, playing incredibly well in net. So I don't know what to do with that hockey game besides just watch it and look to bet in game. Every single day, 365 days a year, you get the Daily Juice podcast on the BettingPros YouTube channel and also wherever you guys get your podcasts. All right, Terrell, before we wrap here, let's go to get your plays again. What are you giving out for tonight here on our live stream?
Well, I try not to double up and give out, the same plays on Fast Break Bets and on the live stream. I took Brunson on Fast Break Bets. I'm taking Cat on the live stream because, again, those are the two guys. If the offense is coming from the Knicks, that's where it's coming from. Cat over 21.5 points. Sparks laying 2 here at home. I think they get their second win in a row and take advantage of a dream team that's on tired legs. And we have the Storm and the Lynx game. I think it's going to be playoff atmosphere here. 2 really good teams under 156.5.
Good stuff. I'm going with Pacers tonight. I think they win the game. I'll lay it with them. It's up to 3 now, but I got 2.5. I think the Pacers do get this win. I do think they play well in crunch time. I do think they bounce back after the loss in game 3. I think they get game 4 to go up 3-1. I don't believe Tyrese Halliburton will have a big game here today. I think you got Nesmith in the game, and I really hope Nesmith is very effective today because I think it'll be a big factor in Halliburton not scoring as much. They may not need him to score as much, and he has not been going over this number, 35.5. He's 1-2 to this. Prop bet cheat sheet likes this to go under at 33 for points, rebounds, and assists for Halliburton. And like I mentioned, I think you lay it tomorrow night with the Thunder. It's a big number, I know, but it's a closeout night. I think the Thunder at home, they have beaten so many teams. I believe now, I think the number is 61 double-digit wins so far this year in the NBA for the Thunder. You can make it 62 with another double-digit win for them up against the T-Wolves in Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. Guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. We're back every Tuesday night, back to the normal time next week, because hopefully I won't have any issues. Thanks to Seth and Terrell in the audience, you guys, for being flexible with us. Enjoy Knicks Pacers tip-off coming up. He's Terrell Furman. I'm Matt Perrault. Talk to you next week here on the Betting Pros YouTube channel.